Deep in the abyss of space, an intruder plunged into our solar system. As it departed, it inexplicably accelerated, defying the laws of gravity. What exactly visited us in 2017? For billions of years, our sun has held a tight grip on a vast family of celestial bodies. Planets, asteroids, and comets orbit in a predictable gravitational waltz. We thought we understood the neighborhood. We knew what belonged here and how it should behave. Every object we had ever cataloged shared a common origin, born from the primordial disk of dust and gas that formed our solar system. But the cosmos is ancient, unimaginably expansive, and full of wandering phantoms. The illusion of our isolated celestial island was shattered late in the year. On October 19, 2017, astronomers utilizing the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Hawaii detected a faint point of light moving rapidly across the sky. At first glance, it appeared to be just another routine discovery, perhaps a typical comet or a mundane asteroid near Earth. But as scientists traced its trajectory backwards, they realized the path did not originate from anywhere within the bounds of our sun. The trajectory was hyperbolic, meaning the object was moving far too quickly to be bound by the sun's immense gravitational pull. It had plunged into our system from above the orbital plane of the planets, whipped past the sun at a staggering speed of 196,000 miles per hour, and was on its way out. This was not a local rock. We were witnessing an incredibly rare event, something theoretical that had never before been observed in human history. Where is it from? Astronomers around the globe scrambled to point every available telescope at this fleeting speck of light. The data confirmed the impossible. Oumuamua is the first known interstellar object to visit our solar system. Named after a Hawaiian term, meaning a messenger from afar arriving first, it represented a historic milestone. We now had a truly tangible piece of another star system passing right through our cosmic backyard. But exactly what kind of object was this mysterious messenger from the dark? Just quickly to mention, the claims made in the documentary and their sources are highlighted in the description. However, the visual depictions were done using AI. We are exploring better ways to generate video using AI and will continuously seek to improve the visual experience. Feel free to add a comment about what specifically you would like to see changed. Now back to the video. Because the object was already moving away from Earth at a breathtaking velocity, astronomers had only a few precious weeks to observe it before it faded into the impenetrable darkness of deep space. It was incredibly faint, appearing as nothing more than a single pixel of light in even the very most powerful optical telescopes. To understand its physical characteristics, scientists had to rely entirely on analyzing how the intensity of that single pixel changed over time. They were racing against the clock, deciphering the object's secrets from the variations in its reflected sunlight alone. As they recorded the object's brightness, they uncovered an extreme light curve. The point of light would grow intensely bright, then dim significantly, and then brighten again, repeating this cycle every 7.3 hours. The variations in luminosity were enormous, changing by a factor of 10. In the vast catalog of asteroids and comets within our solar system, we rarely see brightness fluctuate so drastically. This dramatic shifting pattern was the critical clue needed to deduce the physical shape of the object, revealing a structure completely unlike anything that we had ever seen. By modeling the extreme shifts in brightness, researchers realized it could not be spherical. Oumuamua appears to be highly elongated, up to 1/4 mile long, with a cigar-like shape. Imagine a colossal, rocky cylinder, roughly 10 times longer than it is wide, tumbling endlessly through the freezing vacuum of interstellar space. This bizarre, stretched-out proportion is virtually unheard of among the celestial bodies native to our solar system. The discovery of such an absolutely extreme and bizarre shape immediately set Oumuamua apart, cementing its unique status as an utterly alien artifact of completely natural cosmic evolution. Why would an object form into the shape of a massive cosmic needle? Some theories suggest that millions of years ago, a violent planetary collision in a distant star system shattered a larger world, stretching the fragments through immense gravitational tidal forces before ejecting them into the interstellar void. Others propose it could be a fragment of a tidally disrupted planet, torn apart by a red dwarf star. The sheer elongation of the object suggests a history of immense violence, a traumatic birth that flung it out into the lonely expanse between the distant stars. Further spectral analysis revealed another tantalizing detail. The object had a distinct reddish hue, remarkably similar to the ancient, irradiated objects found in the outer reaches of our own solar system, like those in the Kuiper belt. This dark red color is typically the result of millions of years of exposure to harsh cosmic rays, which strip away lighter elements and leave behind a dense crust of complex organic molecules. This weathered exterior implies that Oumuamua has been wandering through the unforgiving radiation of deep space for a very, very long duration indeed. Adding to its already highly bizarre profile, Oumuamua was not spinning smoothly on a single axis like a well-balanced top. Instead, it was tumbling chaotically, rotating end over end in a complex, erratic manner. This chaotic rotation is likely a lingering scar from whatever catastrophic event expelled it from its home system, or perhaps the direct result of a collision with another object during its long journey. The tumbling motion ensures that every side of the elongated object is eventually exposed to the harsh light of the sun, causing the dramatic fluctuations in its brightness. To survive this chaotic, end-over-end tumbling without flying apart from centrifugal forces, Oumuamua must possess a significant degree of structural integrity. It cannot be a loose agglomeration of dust and ice, often called a rubble pile, just like many regular comets are. Instead, it is likely a very dense solid body, composed of rock or possibly heavy metals. It plunged into our solar system, weathered the intense thermal radiation during its close encounter with our sun, and remained completely intact, a resilient monument to the violent, chaotic processes that govern the formation of distant stars. Given its origins in the icy depths of a foreign star system, astronomers initially assumed Oumuamua would behave like a typical comet. As comets approach the sun, the intense heat sublimates their internal ice, releasing gas and dust that form a glowing coma and a spectacular trailing tail. But as Oumuamua swung past the sun and absorbed massive amounts of solar radiation, it remained completely bare. There was no tail, no halo of gas, and absolutely no visible dust. It looked exactly like a dry, inert asteroid. But it held one very profound final secret. As the astronomical community tracked Oumuamua's departure, meticulously measuring its position against the background stars, they noticed a tiny, yet undeniable anomaly. The object was not following the exact trajectory dictated by the sun's immense gravity. It was unexpectedly and quite clearly accelerating. As it moved further away from the sun, it experienced a small, continuous push, a non-gravitational acceleration that gently nudged it off its expected course. The object experienced an unexpected boost in speed as it passed through the inner solar system. But the true cause behind this mysterious propulsion remained entirely unknown. In the precise science of celestial mechanics, gravity is the ultimate dictator. Johannes Kepler's laws of planetary motion perfectly describe how an object should behave when influenced only by the gravitational pull of massive bodies. Every planet, moon, and asteroid meticulously follows these mathematical rules. When an object deviates from its calculated gravitational path, it means another physical force is actively pushing against it. This tiny, unexpected acceleration had now completely changed the entire narrative. Oumuamua was no longer just an inert rock tumbling through the dark. Something was actively altering its course through the void. The most common natural explanation for non-gravitational acceleration in our solar system is outgassing. When a comet is heated by the sun, Invisible jets of sublimating gas can act like tiny thrusters, altering the object's trajectory. But this explanation presents a truly massive and confusing paradox for Oumuamua. If it was venting enough gas to change its speed, it should have produced a visible coma or a tail of expelled dust. Yet, some of the most sensitive observatories on Earth stared directly at it and found absolutely no optical evidence of any cometary activity whatsoever. Telescopes scanned for the signature emissions of water, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide, which are typical in comets. They looked for the faint scattering of light off microscopic dust particles. The results were completely negative. Oumuamua was phenomenally clean. It lacked the very ingredients that normally provide the thrust for comets. This glaring absence of evidence ruled out the standard models of outgassing. The scientific community was left staring at a stark contradiction, an object being pushed by a powerful force, but with absolutely no visible exhaust to explain where the push was coming from. The acceleration mystery deepened significantly as scientists attempted to reconcile the mathematical data with the physical observations. If the push wasn't coming from standard water or carbon outgassing, what invisible mechanism was propelling this interstellar traveler? Could the object's chaotic, tumbling rotation somehow interact with solar radiation in a way we had never seen before? Or was the surface composition so utterly alien that it sublimated materials completely invisible to our current instruments? The deeper we looked into the data, the more the conventional theories began to unravel, leaving a void demanding entirely new physics. This inexplicable acceleration fractured the scientific consensus, igniting intense debates that continue to this day. The inability to explain the object's movement with traditional cometary models opened the door to a flurry of radical hypotheses. Researchers realized that Oumuamua was challenging our fundamental understanding of how celestial bodies operate. The object had transformed from a fascinating anomaly into a profound cosmic puzzle. If it wasn't a standard comet, and it wasn't a standard asteroid, what was the true nature of the propulsion driving this interstellar visitor away from our sun and back into the dark? In the total absence of conventional explanations, some researchers ventured into extraordinary territory. One of the most provocative hypotheses suggested that Oumuamua might not be a natural object at all, but rather a piece of advanced extraterrestrial technology. Could this highly elongated, smoothly accelerating object actually be an artificial probe, deliberately sent by a distant civilization to carefully survey our own solar system? This alien artifact theory, even though highly controversial, perfectly fit the physical anomalies: the extreme shape, the lack of a visible tail, and the mysterious silent acceleration away from the sun. Proponents of the incredible artificial hypothesis seriously proposed that Oumuamua could actually be functioning as a giant light sail. A light sail is a theoretical spacecraft propulsion system that harnesses the momentum of photons from a star. If the object was incredibly thin, perhaps only millimeters thick, the sheer pressure of sunlight could theoretically push it forward, providing exactly the type of smooth, non-gravitational acceleration we observed. While it sounds exactly like science fiction, brilliant human engineers are currently developing this exact technology for our own future interstellar missions, making the wild concept physically plausible. However, truly extraordinary claims always require truly extraordinary evidence, and the broader scientific community desperately sought natural explanations to definitively counter the artificial hypothesis. One leading natural theory proposed that Oumuamua was an exotic block of solid hydrogen ice. Formed in the frigid core of a giant molecular cloud, a hydrogen iceberg could theoretically sublimate invisible gas when warmed by the sun. This process would provide the precise necessary thrust to effectively accelerate the object without producing the telltale dust or glowing coma that comets leave behind, neatly explaining the invisible outgassing paradox we observed. Another compelling natural theory cleverly suggested it might simply be a broken shard of solid nitrogen ice, essentially a chunk knocked off an exo-Pluto from another star system. Like hydrogen, sublimating nitrogen would also be completely invisible to our optical telescopes, providing exactly the stealthy propulsion directly needed to alter its trajectory. These theories elegantly solved the mystery of the missing exhaust, proposing that Oumuamua was composed of volatile materials rarely seen in such abundance within our own inner solar system, beautifully highlighting the utterly bizarre and highly varied compositions of planets forming around distant alien stars. But even these highly exotic natural theories have very significant, undeniable flaws. A solid hydrogen iceberg would be incredibly fragile. Critics argue it would likely evaporate completely during its incredibly long, millions of years journey through interstellar space, absorbing ambient starlight and harsh cosmic radiation long before it ever reached our solar system. The nitrogen ice theory, while slightly more robust, still struggles to perfectly align with the extreme elongated shape and the complex tumbling motion. Every single hypothesis presented, whether natural or artificial, requires us to completely stretch our understanding of physics to the breaking point. The intense debate over Oumuamua's true nature represents a thrilling climax in modern astronomy. We were suddenly confronted with a strange object that simply refused to fit neatly into absolutely any of our previously established categories. The window for direct observation has slammed firmly shut. Oumuamua is now moving away from us at immense speed, growing fainter by the second, forever beyond the reach of even our most powerful space telescopes. We are left only with the data we managed to collect during those few frantic weeks, a precious puzzle we may never fully solve. Today, the very first known interstellar visitor is rapidly plunging back into the freezing dark depths of deep space, heading towards the constellation Pegasus. It is now completely invisible, a dark ghost fading back into the cosmic ocean from which it emerged. It leaves behind a profound legacy of deeply unanswered questions and completely revolutionized theories. It proved that our solar system is not a sealed fortress, but rather a porous island in a dynamic, incredibly active galaxy, constantly interacting with wandering fragments ejected from the violent births and deaths of other distant star systems. The truly profound realization is that Oumuamua is very likely not remotely unique. Statistically, astronomers now estimate that there are likely thousands of similar interstellar objects passing silently through our solar system at any given moment, completely undetected. Oumuamua was simply the first one large enough, and close enough, for our current modern generation of telescopes to successfully spot. The groundbreaking discovery has rapidly catalyzed a new era of planetary defense and observational astronomy, prompting the construction of next-generation observatories designed specifically to catch the next interstellar interloper before it slips away into the night. As we carefully look up at the endless stars, the enduring mystery of the tumbling, mysteriously accelerating object remains a truly powerful reminder of how much we still have to learn. Whether it was a shard of an alien Pluto, a fragile iceberg of exotic gases, or something far more extraordinary, it heavily challenged absolutely everything we previously thought we knew about the universe. The object that inexplicably accelerated away from the sun has fundamentally altered our perspective, bridging the vast silent void between our tiny blue planet and the unimaginable wonders orbiting distant alien suns. The captivating story of Oumuamua is a true testament to the absolutely endless frontier of cosmic discovery. We are just beginning to unlock the secrets hidden in the darkness between the stars. The next visitor could arrive at any moment, and when it finally does, we will be waiting, watching, and ready to learn. If you want to dive deeper into the unexplained phenomena of our universe and explore the cutting edge of space exploration, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us as we continue to investigate the greatest mysteries of the cosmos.
If you enjoy this content and want to see more, please consider subscribing. A quick tap on the like button also helps us learn what topics you like best. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.